Hi there, Jesly. Let's take a look at your new set of essays. This is the one about technology making us more social. Here's what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated that technological devices, careful with your spelling, because you just wrote a different word, make mankind more communicative. Some believe it is very much true. Personally, I strongly disagree. This essay will argue that the technological advancement makes man lonely and less social using relevant examples. All right, let's fix a couple of things in terms of grammar. Everything else is all right. So, this is strange. It is very much true. It's not natural. It just sounds wrong. So, some believe this is quite accurate. Okay, you could have said that. But here, either way, you need some sort of a linking device showing contrast, because what you have is essentially two opposing statements. So you can't just, throw a comma in there and think that that's enough. You have to do something else as well. So something like a yet or however. My favorite is however. So let's try it. Some believe it is quite accurate. Some believe this is quite accurate. However, personally, I strongly disagree. This essay will argue that technological advancements, I think it's best to put it in the plural and to get rid of the. Make man lonely and less social using relevant example. That's fine. All right. It is undeniable that the world has become smaller because of the development of technology. Everything is at the fingertip. All right, you can't say that everything is at the fingertip. Everything is at your fingertips, okay? But still, it's a little too idiomatic for an essay like this, all right? These are expressions that are good to use in the speaking test, but in the essay portion of the exam, it's probably not a great idea to use this kind of language, okay? So instead you could say everything is readily available, or all types of information are immediately available and accessible 24 hours a day. So something like that would be good. All right, let's move on. People can contact their family and friends no matter where they live. Internet facilities enable people to interact with their loved ones face-to-face effortlessly. This frequent contact with friends and families family and friends, strengthens the relationship and communication. For instance, the cost-effective VoIP phone call, I don't even know how to say that, benefits to talk on the phone, long distance making life simplified. Okay. So let's talk about this paragraph a little bit. It really feels to me like a list. It doesn't feel like a well-developed paragraph. All right, let me tell you why I say that. You say that the world has become smaller. Then look at it. I mean, it just reads like a list. So you have information readily available. You can talk to your family. This contact strengthens the relationship. It just feels very much like a bulleted list. How can you avoid that? Well, first of all, it's a good idea to basically select two main ideas and then just develop them fully. So if you want to say that the world has become smaller because of the development of technology, you can say thanks to the developments in social media and also video calls via the internet, distances have been eradicated, as families can speak to each other all hours of the day, no matter where they might be. And this also allows communication to travel much, much faster. As in the past, we used to wait days and days for mail, but now all you need to do is just call somebody on the application of your choice, and you can hear their news and share news immediately. Okay, so that's what I mean by when I say, develop your ideas fully. So that would be one advantage. Okay, but this sentence to me really didn't make sense. Benefits to talk on the phone long distance, making life simplified. That just was very strangely worded. Okay, let's move on. On the other hand, children and adults are constantly obsessed with mobile phones. No, you can't do that grammatically. I want you to be a little more careful, Jesly. So, children and adults are constantly obsessed with mobile phones so that individual interaction is slowly diminishing. What does that mean, individual interaction? I think it means something else. I think you mean face-to-face communication, perhaps? Too often, a mobile conversation results in wasted time and nothing productive. Okay, why? Tell me why. Explain that to me. A meaningful conversation is essential because it helps to maintain a healthy relationship. A personal interaction makes us understand without the two clearly and respond effectively, and this cannot be possible over a phone. Why? Why do you say that? For example, children of today's age have difficulties coping, coping with their life. They commonly end up depressed, not depression, and have other social issues or face other social issues, and this is because of the lack of close interaction with others, which will never be possible with the help of technology. All right, this isn't really an example. All right, you're just continuing what you were saying. It's not an example because you're not really making this anything tangible. Still, you're talking you're writing very theoretically, very abstractly about this. And again, it feels like there's not a strong link both between your ideas and the sentences. So here you say that mobile phones are a waste of time and not productive. All right, well, you never explained to us why, all right? And then you say meaningful conversation, but you don't specify that you mean an in-person conversation. So here also, if that's what you mean, you could have used, again, a word of contrast, saying something like, in contrast, a face-to-face conversation is essential because it helps maintain a healthy relationship and understand clearly and effectively, things which are not possible over the phone, okay? So you needed to make some changes here. Let's see. Okay. Moreover, they often feel neglected in times of trouble as their significant others are busy interacting with someone living far away, leaving them unnoticed and neglected. All right. Again, this is really very absolute. It's like you're making this like this overarching absolute statement. And it's not supported. Okay, so again, you really need to provide some support. Why do you say this? How can you prove this? How can you go into a little more detail? So it's a really unsupported statement here. From the arguments examples given, I firmly believe that technological inventions such as the internet and computers make man lonely and aloof in developing interpersonal relationships, and in reality it causes him to be less social. All right. Let's talk about another problem that this essay had. You used on the other hand here, but in order to use on the other hand, you should have used on the one hand, okay? So that's one thing that was wrong here. Also, you spent a lot of time talking about the negatives and how it makes man less social, but this, in comparison, is a really much shorter paragraph. It's a really good idea to try to make your paragraphs as balanced as possible. I don't want you to become obsessive about, making sure that word for word it's like the same number, but you still should try to balance out your paragraphs so that it seems that you're discussing both sides of the issue equally, okay? All right, so there were some issues with this essay. As you can see, we spent a lot of time on it, so I want to go straight into your letter. Let's see what you wrote. Dear Sir, I'm writing in response to your letter that you sent me with regards to my unnoticed absence during my exam held on this date. Okay. I'm writing in response to your letter that you sent, not unnoticed absence, but my inexcused absence. All right, I think that's what you really are supposed to be saying here. It's not unnoticed. My name is Jesly Titus. I am pursuing. You're not pursuing a second-year MBA. You could say that I am pursuing my MBA, or you could say I am a second-year MBA student. That would have been good. And my student number is this. Okay, where is the case number? Don't forget you're supposed to give the case number as well. I sincerely apologize for not informing the concerned persons about my unofficial leave, as I was unable to attend my business planning examination due to an automobile accident. All right, that's nice. It's a good sentence. You don't meet with an accident. I had an accident on my way back home from college on this date. I broke my right leg and I was hospitalized for a week. Due to this, I was unable to inform the examination committee. I hereby request you to allow me to appear in the forthcoming supplementary examinations, as this is my final semester. I hope you will consider my request. I've enclosed my medical certificate along with this letter. I look forward to hearing from you. Yours sincerely. All right, so the good news is that the grammar and the language were good here. They were appropriately formal. All that was well done. So that was good. Let's talk about what needs work. The first thing that needs work is your sign-off. You can't say yours sincerely. You're supposed to say yours faithfully because you don't know the name of the person you're writing to. It's a convention of letter writing, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is unfortunately you left out a couple of things. You didn't completely fulfill the bullets. Which ones? Well, here you didn't write your case number. You're supposed to do that. Without fulfilling all the elements of the bullet, it's going to drop your task achievement score to a 5, okay? So it's absolutely imperative that you do that. The other place where you didn't fulfill the bullet was here. You only offered one resolution to the problem, but if you look at the bullet more carefully, it says resolutions, plural. So that means you have to provide at least 2 suggestions on how you can solve this problem. All right, so those are the issues with this letter. Like I said, it's extremely important to include all the elements of the bullet, all right? Otherwise, it can really lower your score. So go ahead, correct these. Let's see another set from you, and I'll be waiting, all right? Good luck.